Well, I'm very excited that this exhibition is finally happening here in America. I have had a few exhibitions in Europe, in Paris, Germany, outside of Paris, and England, and I was just waiting for this to happen for me, and the German consulate offered to expose the paintings together with a little concert. And in general, I think I started painting in 1992, that is about 10 years ago. I was living in Berlin in a loft. It was after the fall of the wall. I was always very inspired by the German expressionism of the 20s, of starting basically early, in the early century, 1910, 1906. Otto Dix, Kokoschka, Die Brücke, Grosch. I loved the wild use of the brush and the actually quite aggressive way, the emotional way of attacking the canvas. And to let just intuition and flow go with your wave of, you know, with your wave of emotions and your wave of creativity, basically. I started painting on smaller canvases, and then they just had to become larger and larger. The vision was larger and larger, and it was more and more magical to actually paint larger, to overwhelm myself with that. I am also inspired by the Neuen Wilden, die Neuen Wilden aus Berlin, the new wilds of Berlin, Rainer Fetting in the 1970s. So really the subjects are the subjects like the songs I'm singing. The subjects are social political issues, situations, people, loss, desperation, contact, passion, love, hatred, neglect. Everything really is based, I think, on the songs and the universe of the songs I love to interpret, from Brel to Piaf to Weil to Brecht to Spoliansky. And you can always, I think you can find everything in what I sing in these paintings. They're not living room paintings. They're far too disturbing. I think they're really paintings which focus on a conflict and on a situation, and I'm interested in the person, the human being, the expression on the face, and their survival in the situation. This painting is called War. It was painted in the beginning of the 90s, middle of the 90s. It was the time of the war in Bosnia-Herzegovina, and obviously Muslim minority was the issue. And funnily, in the year 2002, now it gains a new importance and an actuality. I love the expressions on the faces of the people, the children and the women, and that's why I think it's a centerpiece of the exhibition. This is dark alley, dunkle Gasse, children and the age. There's always a little piece of three-penny opera in everything. Three-penny opera, crime, the darkness, the underground world, and youth and the contact with this basically ill but world full of temptations. This is Rue Pigalle. I sang a song once from Edith Piaf called La Rue Pigalle, and it was about obviously a girl, prostitution, Montmartre, Rue Pigalle, and the dream to finally get out of this milieu. But the dream, all the dreams and illusions got broken down, and she ended up, and she was destined to stay in this milieu. This is the good fairy on top looking through and saying everything will be all right. It has a lot to do with the songs I'm singing. Edith Piaf is basically in it. The reflection is very inspired by Cubism, Expressionism, German time, the androgynous figure, man, half woman. The woman could be a dress at the same time, disconnected from her extremities, looking at the mask, identity, and I would say a look at homosexuality, sexuality, eroticism with eyes, you know, through the last century. It's one of my favorites. This is like three-penny opera. Drei-Groschen-Oper. Mackie Messer, Lola, tradition, établissement, abuse, seduction. This one is called Sleepless City, and it could be Berlin. I painted it in Berlin, but it almost could be New York. The excitement and the never-ending desire for amusement, anonymity, and contact. And the woman is kissing the moon, or the man in the moon. This is implosion and explosion. Explosion has a lot to do with dance, modern dance. I love the energy and the power which jumps out of the painting, and it really, I painted it very wild. It's a wild brushwork, fast. I also love to paint fast, to just see what's coming out of the actual act of painting. I like to see in the painting the act of painting rather than the meticulous, fine study of something. It's like a performance, basically. I like to, the painting is like a performance. You just let your intuitions flow. He is like the centerpiece, and he definitely is like exploding. And this is a little more introvertive, you know, everything goes to the inside, implosion, the women, the female, more aesthetic. And I like these curled bodies. I've always been a fan of Klimt, but this is without the flowers and the gold. This is Miles. I mean, I painted this one. I always listen to Miles Davis and his hidden temptations and seduction, sexuality. You know, there's so much in this man, and I just thought I have to make like a mysterious painting of him. This one is called The Parked One. The woman in pieces, put into the garage, unhappy with her life, no identity, in a rather bourgeois environment. It's a bit surrealist.